Hey kiddos, and welcome back to music class. My name is Mrs. Lizaola, and I am so happy to have you here on our final week of our 5-week unit all on rap. Now, if you aren't completely caught up yet, that's okay. Don't worry about it. But what I'd like you to do is stop this video. This one isn't going to make much sense to you if you haven't done the other components of this unit, of this project. Instead, I want you to go to last week's video, which you will find by clicking on lesson 21. And in that one, I will review every step we've done up to this point. So again, if you haven't done every other step, that's okay. You're not in trouble. You're fine. Why don't you go back to that one and you can try to work through those first ones before you watch this week's lesson. Because this one, it's really important that you've done all the other steps to get there. But if you have done everything, if you have already done your rhythm rap, you wrote it, and if you've already done your backbeat, you created it, and you've already mixed the two together on SoundLab, well then you are golden, you are in the right place. This is our very final week, as I previously stated, of our unit on rap. And what we're going to do this week is we're going to put it all together and we are going to make you an album. And it's going to be good fun, I promise. The first thing that I want you to do is click on this link that you're going to see in the corner that says Soundtrap. And it's going to take you to your Soundtrap account. You might need to log in. That's fine. I just want you to get to your Soundtrap account. And when you log in, it should probably look like this. It has all of your projects right there. For you, it might just have one project because you've only done the one, but I've done a few, messed around, practiced. I have quite a few that you guys have shared with me, but it should look something like this. So again, I want you to click that link and go to Soundtrap. This is the first step. You're going to go to Soundtrap and you are going to open your final project. So my final one I titled Mute Your Mic. So I'm going to open up this one right here. Oops, not that. Here we go. That's right, you press Studio to get in, of course. So you're going to press Studio on that final recording that you were pleased with, and it should open it on up for you. And here's mine right here. If I press play, I can check to make sure. Mute your mic. Type it in the chat box. Can you see my screen? All right, so that's my final project. That is the one I wanted. What I want you to do once you've decided, okay, there it is, there's my final recording, is press save in the corner or at the top. And when it's all saved, you'll see this arrow that's pointing down onto a straight line. So you can see it right over here that I'm circling. It's a downward facing arrow pointing to a straight line. And this is a logo for download. We're going to download our mix now that we're completely pleased with it. We're happy with it. We like the way it sounds. You're going to download it. Okay. And then it should say download complete. All right. And it will save as whatever you have it titled. So if you haven't titled it anything, that's fine. It'll just probably save as untitled. But if you did title it right over here, see next to that pencil, if you did give it a title, it will save it under that name. So I did give mine a title. I titled it Mute Your Mic, and it will save under Mute Your Mic. So that's what we're doing there. We're going to open up your final mix, your final recording on Soundtrap. You're going to make sure it's saved, and then you're going to download it. And that's that. All right. Once it is downloaded, you are going to go to your Google Drive. Okay. There's a couple different ways you can get there. You can type in drive.google.com, drive.google.com, and go there. Or once you open a new tab, a lot of times it goes right here to Google. If you press those dots right there, it'll open up your apps and it'll show you Drive. It's that rainbow looking triangle. So you're going to press Drive. It's okay if you're needing to pause it between these steps, that's fine. Okay, so I have my Google Drive right here. What we're going to do in this next step is, do you remember that file that we just downloaded from Soundtrap of our mix, our recording? We're going to put that on our Google Drive, okay? The way you do that is you press plus. Right over here, there's a rainbow plus on the left side, and it says new. We are going to do that. We're going to upload a file, so press File, Upload. And then choose that file that you had just saved. So again, remember I told you I saved mine as Mute Your Mic, so that's what is showing up right here, muteyourmic.wave. So click, and I've now downloaded it. That's that first part. I know it was kind of a lot of steps to get to that one thing, but that's what we're going to do. You're going to go to Soundtrap, find your recording, save it, download it, and then put it on your Google Drive. All right, you'll know it's done because in this bottom corner, it has a little check mark. It says muteyourmic.wave, check. All right, that's that first step. So if you need to pause it and do that now, that's fine. Or if you want to continue watching and then go back and do that, that's okay too. The next thing we are going to do is create our album art. Oopsies. The next thing we're going to do is create our album art. So you're going to do that by clicking this purple link up here that says album art, and it's going to have you make a copy of a document. All right. Just like this. It will look just like this, completely blank. All right. I'll show you mine. Just like this. And if it looks blank, that's fine. That's exactly what we want. So this is where we are going to create our album art. I'm sure you've noticed, if you have any records at your house or CDs, that the front cover is always a really intriguing picture. It's a cool picture. It's a piece of art that kind of shows you a little bit about what the music sounds like. And this is even true for if you have Spotify or iTunes on your devices or on a grown-up's device, or even when you're listening in the car. There's usually a little preview in the form of album art. So it's a little picture, and the picture has something to do with what you're going to hear. And I, for one, think album art is really cool. It's a nice way to see what your work of art is going to look like, or what the music is going to sound like just by looking at a small piece of artwork. So that's what we're going to do this week, is create album art. In fact, I was going to show you mine. So here's mine right here. You'll see that I put a picture of my Bitmoji, and I put the title of my piece, which is Mute Your Mic. And then I wrote a little underneath. It says, Mute Your Mic, a rap about distance learning. And then I also gave credit to who did everything, which in this project, it's going to be you, right? And for my project, it was me. So I wrote lyrics, rhythms, backbeat, and album art by Mrs. Lizaola. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on how you can create your own album art. I used mine. I made mine creating a Bitmoji, but you could also use a picture of yourself, or you could just find Google images that you like, anything you want. But I'm going to show you how I made mine. So again, once you've clicked that purple link, and it took you to this blank one that you made a copy of, this is going to be where you will create your album art. The first thing you will do to create your album art is pick a background. So you can use a picture as a background or just a color. And the way you do that is right up here. It says the word background. When you hover over it, it says change background. That's what we want to do. So you'll click that. And right here, it gives you the option to choose a color. Any color you can think of, solid or gradient. Or you can choose an image. What I chose to do in mine was choose an image, and I'll show you how I did that. It says choose image. You can upload, or you can Google image search. So the way I chose mine was I typed in brick wall, and there's the one I picked. And it gave me that background of a brick wall. Or like I said, you can just choose a color. So maybe I'll choose purple, and that would be the background. Or let's see, maybe if I wanted my background to be, how about grass? I could do that, and my background would just be grass. Anything you can think of at all, you can do that there. A solid color as the background, or an image, or you can even upload an image, anything you want. So that's what I did first. Then I decided to put in of my Bitmoji of myself. So I did that. If you have a Bitmoji, you probably already know how to put in a picture. If not, you don't have to use a Bitmoji. You could use a real picture of yourself that you can take on your computer, or you could just skip the part of a picture of yourself altogether. So I chose the one with the mic drop because I thought that was funny, but I could also just do one of me being a potato by copying and pasting that in. Oh, let's try that again. One of me being a potato. Copy image, paste it in. Yeah, there's me being a potato. I could have that as my image, or any picture I want, really. All right, so once you found a picture that you want to put in, you can do that there. And again, it can be a picture of yourself, a Bitmoji of yourself, or you can put in lots of different pictures of anything you want on there. Since this is about distance learning, you could put like a picture of a face mask, or you could put a picture of a computer, or you could put a picture of you falling asleep, anything you want, anything at all. It's totally up to you. The next thing I did was I used text boxes to write out what I wanted to do. So you'll see over here where I'm hovering and circling my cursor that there is the letter T inside of a box. So use that, click on it, and drag a space where you want to write a text box. All right, so click, and then drag a space where you want a text box. And then you can write out your title. So my title was Mute Your Mic. Now you can probably tell, just like me, that it's hard to read this because my background's a little busy, but I'll show you how you can make that a little better. What you can do is up here, increase the text size as much as you want. You could even make it bold, all right, so that you can really see it. And you can even change this box to be a color. That way it won't be so hard to read with the grass behind. So you do that by clicking this paint bucket and picking any color you want. So I picked white. All right. So that's how, on my example that I showed you, I did that. And I just chose different colors, chose to make it colorful. So I put the title, and then I created a second one to write what my rap was about. And then I also did a third one to include who wrote the lyrics, rhythms, backbeat, and album art. But this is completely up to you. You have your own creative freedom. I'd like you to make your album art however you want and make it as cool as you want, as busy as you want, as simple as you want, anything you'd like, because this is your music and your piece of art. So once you have one that you are pleased with, this is where we're going to go grab that file that we put on our Google Drive. Okay, so let's say I finished this and I thought, that's perfect. Potato, mute your mic. This is what I want my album art to look like. What you will then do is click over here. It says Insert. So it's 1, 2, 3, the fourth pull down menu from the left, Insert. So you will click Insert. And we're going to insert an audio clip. That means something you can hear, right? So it's audio. It has that little volume button next to it. So insert audio. And then from there, you should see your file. So I see mine right there, mute your mic. I'll click it. And there it is. I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger so it's easier to click. Okay, let's see. Whoa, that's really big. Yours doesn't have to be that big unless you want it to be. And there's my album art. It's now presented in a way that anyone who sees this can listen, because it gives you the option to press play. Mute your mic. Type it in the chat box. Can you see my screen? And that's mine. All right. So that's how you can create your own album art and even embed the audio that you have been working so hard on for the last few weeks, and create your own personalized album that you can release to your friends. And I'll show you how we will do that, because that is the very final step in this really long, really exciting unit on rap, is sharing it with your peers, your classmates at your school, but also the other schools too. So I'll show you how to do that now. You're going up to the top left. Once you've found that you are completely happy with the way it looks and the way it sounds, you're going to go to this top left and press File and Publish to the Web. It's kind of near the bottom. Publish to the Web. And then a link. That's exactly what we want. You just press Publish. It says, are you sure you want to publish this selection? Yes, I'm sure. We want to share it. And it gives you a link. You will then copy this link, and you will paste it in the discussion that I'm going to link down below. I can't wait to see all of yours and hear all of yours. And I also can't wait to see all of the encouraging comments that you all leave for each other. That's one of my favorite things to see in those discussion posts. I will hold office hours again this week. No one came last week, but that's okay. I guess that means you all were having a pretty good time. But I know the week before we had quite a few pop in with questions. So I will hold those again this Friday at 2, and I will link that in our discussion. Can't wait to see what you guys do.